All right. Things look like they are going. There's a weird stream that's been here for a while, I think. That's weird. A Halo 5 stream. I wonder how long it's been like that. Okay. We'll leave it. And now we just wait for folks to come in. All right. Looking forward to seeing what everyone has to say. Hey, we got Mazerai. We got Kyle Deramus. Howdy do. Noah Cross, hello. Hello, folks. Welcome to my humble abode. Let's get this max rank. What do you guys think? I'm gonna pause though the download of Modern Warfare Remastered for now. I've been working with a buddy on scripts for him. So the script writing process has required the download of a lot of Call of Duty games. And it's been fun. It's been fun. I hath arrived to tell ye about thine car's extended warranty. Hello, Domino. Hello, Blue Rose. Are you a pineapple on pizza kind of guy? Okay, so, around the time of Destiny 1's first expansion, can't remember the name of it. Crota? Something Crota? Dark Below, that was the name of it. I worked at a Domino's, and the guy there said, let me make you a pineapple pizza. Just trust me. Let me make it. And he made it. And you know what? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I would never order it for myself, I think. Because when I want pizza, I'm looking for something with like mushrooms, spinach, extra cheese, and then like a salty meat of some kind. But if I were offered a slice of pineapple pizza, I would not decline. It's the key to making it taste good is make it spicy. So it's got to have like jalapenos as well as pineapple, and something about the sweetness of the pineapple mixed with the acidity and then the spice. It all blends together, and the cheese is just... Pineapple pizza's good. Okay, we got... do we like music? Like, Halo Infinite's got great music, but do we like it for the stream? I got the voices off. The late night man himself. That is me. That is me. I'm sometimes known as the late night man. Acidity. But you are free to call me whatever you'd like. Let me share this stream, actually. Stream ends when I hit max rank. Okay. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. How are you guys enjoying the current update? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Halo isn't Halo without the music. I concur. I concur. LNG, who do you think would win? 100 Master Chiefs or the Doom guy? Just Doom guy purely based on the fact that he has like... Doom guy is like infused with the power of creation, you know? Like the godly power that created the universe. And Master Chief is just the guy... I mean, granted, he's a guy who's a little bit stronger than most guys, but... Doom Guy died, went to hell, and then came back to life by punching his way out of hell. Or I think if Master Chief died, that would be it. Like, Chief has to worry about a grenade going off in his hand, you know? Like, that is like a serious concern if a grenade were to go off in his hand. Whereas with Doom Guy, a lot of the demons he fights are, like, their whole thing is that they can make grenades come out of their hands. You know? Needless to say, like, this whole... I think Doom Guy would mop the floor with 100 Master Chiefs, is what I'm trying to say. It's like when people say who would win, Master Chief or Kratos, and it's like, I like Master Chief, but Kratos would clearly win. You know? Like, in a world of, like, supernatural stuff, I'm sorry, that is going to beat technology, because supernatural stuff doesn't follow the laws of reality, you know? Supernatural stuff has an unfair advantage over technology, and that includes science fiction. The rewards from YouTube? Asking too much. Fun. I gather there aren't any rewards associated with XP. There is. There is actually rewards. Wait. Oh, YouTube chat XP? That's a thing that YouTube's doing now? Chat XP? Hey, you know, that's cool. That's cool. If some folks like it, you know? But it's interesting to see if it's gonna, you know, go anywhere. What about Doom Guy versus Kratos? That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with Doom Guy again. Just because Kratos, Kratos is, like, mythologically speaking, the equivalent of one of the many bosses that Doom Guy has beaten to a bloody pulp over his rampage. Also, Kratos has a bit of, like, humanity to him, where with Doom Guy's a little bit straightforward, you know? Hey, LNG, how do you think Halo should go about getting new fans? They seem caught in a nostalgia trap right now. That's a great topic of conversation, because you're absolutely correct. It's not good that Halo Infinite, the shop stuff, like its live service stuff, is banking on nostalgia for older games. Like, that's usually not the sign of, like, a healthy franchise, right? If the new stuff isn't landing, so all you can do is sell people memories of the old stuff. What I think probably needs to happen... So, if the rumors are true that we're going to be getting a Combat Evolved remake, I think that's actually clever. And I can explain why, even though that also is nostalgia. Whatever the Halo Combat Evolved remake has to be, or is trying to be, I don't think it should be for the fans, quote, quote. I think it should be trying to redo Halo 1, but for the current generation of gamers. Like, modernize whatever mechanics you need to modernize, clean up whatever you need to clean up, tweak what you gotta tweak. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to go too far, okay? You don't want to be like Dead Rising 4 or Killing Floor 3 or something where it's like, we're going back to our roots, but also not really, because we want to appeal to a new generation of gamers, which means we're throwing out the identity of the franchise. It's just, there's this very fine line. And if they're able to take the magic that is Halo 1 and retell it in a way that is super compelling for a new generation of fans, that's perfect, because it's the start of the story. And then what I think comes after that, or, you know, before, like, whatever way they want to go, is there needs to be a new multiplayer. Because I think Halo Infinite had its time in the sun. And Halo Infinite is great now, but it took too long to get there, and so its story is already set in stone that it was a disappointment, you know? So I think starting fresh with a new multiplayer game, and it's a multiplayer game that I think should not play things safe. It's got to be different, like really different. It's got to raise eyebrows of not just Halo fans, but new gamers as well. So that doesn't mean just copying modern mechanics and trends. That means genuinely doing something that kind of turns heads in the game industry. Let me know if the audio volume is okay. Who would win, godlike entity or a steroid soldier? Yeah, basically. Yeah. Whenever people ask those kind of questions, like who would win, Captain America? Well, okay. In the case of Captain America versus Master Chief would mop the floor with Captain America. Like, Master Chief would squish him like a bug, because Captain America is operating with, oh my god, sci-fi technology from the 1940s, and Master Chief is operating with sci-fi technology 500 years in our future. So I'm sorry, one sci-fi setting has stronger legs than the other one, you know. I'm getting a couple super chats. I gotta check them out. I know the leadership changed, but I'm worried there's still people at Halo Studios who want the sandbox to be UNSC weapons only. Are there? Is that the vibe people are getting? I don't get that vibe. Halo Infinite, some of the most creative weapons that Halo has ever seen in Halo Infinite are all alien stuff. You got like the Heat Wave, Cinder Shot, you've got the Banished Mutilator. In fact, I remember Halo 5, the debut weapon, when they showed off the campaign, it was the Plasma Caster. To the point that they even recorded a line for Agent Locke that goes unused in the release version of Halo 5, where he says, Plasma Caster, when he picks it up. Like, Halo Studios does a /343. They've never really treated, I think, alien weapons unfairly. Like, maybe mechanically, but as far as, like, their representation in the games, they always make sure to kind of go crazy on them. You know? Oh, hell yeah. That was a good run. Hey, The Who just donated $2, and that's their first super on the live stream. Dude, I appreciate it. That's really kind of you. Thank you. It helps support the channel, helps me do what I gotta do. And what I gotta... Okay, and what I gotta do is not fall off the track. Which is easier said than done. Hey, LNG, what are your thoughts on the trace track? Wait, what are your thoughts on the trace amounts? Trace amounts from CE. It reminds me so much of the music and ambience of Fear and Doom 3. Trace amounts. Is that the one? That's not the one that plays at the beginning of 343 Guilty Spark, right? Or not the beginning of... After the beginning cutscene. Like the one where it kind of sounds like birds, you know? Like weird animal creatures, and it's very ambiency. Is that the one? And by the way, thank you so much for the $10 donation, dude. JC Dog. I really appreciate it, man. Do you think an Arma Halo game would be good? I think so. I think so. I think that... So, in my personal opinion, something that would go pretty damn hard for Halo is if they release a Halo game that doesn't really have a story. It's more of a just sandbox. Like, it's got UNSC, it's got a ton of weapons, super complex ballistic systems and simulations and stuff, and it's got AI that you can script and code and stuff for both Covenant and UNSC. and an extensive campaign editor. Like, kind of think of basically Arma, like copy Arma, but make it UNSC themed. Because there is a chunk of the Halo community that are hardcore gun nuts, military nuts. They would eat something like that up, you know? Like, give them the tools to create their own custom campaigns, like the kinds that you already see on Arma, in Arma Halo communities, and I think people would be quite happy. Make it, maybe make the campaign editing portion of it, like, if it is too complicated, make that PC exclusive. Hell, if the buttons get too complicated, because, like, Arma... I haven't played Arma Reforger, or whatever it's called, but I can't imagine that Arma feels good on a controller. Like, if you got to, just cater to the PC crowd with something like that. And I think you'd carve out a good cult player base, and because the goal is just to it's basically more of a technology than it is a game. All you got to do is support that technology with new tools and optimizations and stuff, and let the community just kind of do their thing. Ooh, boy. Don't worry, we're not going to be only doing Thunderbowl. Thunderbowl, though, is the best way currently to grind XP, but we will switch between different modes that give XP. The guy behind me was trying to push me off the bowl, so I gotta try to avoid him. I hope he doesn't try to do anything mean. Yeah, if you ever wonder why folks aren't, like, you know, why we're not trying to screw each other over here, it's because me and this guy, we're probably XP grinding the same. You want to just survive to literally the last second, so that you can get the max XP that you can. It's like you know, like you got a wet rag and you're just wringing it dry for any drop you can. Yearn for the bowl, says my wife. LNG, did you see Superman? Says Andrew Brown. Thank you for the donation, Andrew. But no, I have not seen it yet. I have heard great things about it. Okay, maybe not great. I've heard good things. Is it good? If it's good, I'll take that as a win. I've just heard, like... I've heard that it's insanely refreshing as a Superman movie. I've heard some of the stuff that, like, maybe keeps it from being great, is the fact that it's the first chapter in a new cinematic universe, so it's like, you know. My wife and I, we saw the third Spider-Man movie together when we were just dating, and something she said that I guess I had never considered before was, she was like, I didn't like that Doctor Strange character. Like, I thought we were going to see a Spider-Man movie, you know? And it was like, yeah, actually, I guess I've never thought about that. And now all of these, like, MCU movies and stuff, it is a little bit exhausting that these movies can't be standalone stories. They have to be part of a larger world. And I've heard that stuff is, like, the weakest aspect of the new Superman, is that it's can't just be a Superman movie. You gotta have the Flash in there, and the Justice League, or not the Flash, the Green Lantern, and the Justice League, and all these characters, and setups, and... Gazzard had an intriguing question before my first super. Check it out. Also, to Kyle, the only guys wanting human guns are comp-poisoned BR addicts. Like Battle Royale addicts? Or do you mean battle rifle addicts? I don't think you'll find that the comp community only wants human guns. I think what they just want is they want a good battle rifle for their competitive starter weapon. That's actually a decent video. I should write that down. I've been meaning to address the topic of the casual Halo community and their hatred of the competitive community. And I think that it is very destructive for the Halo brand to be tearing apart one or the other. Because the whole beauty of Halo is that both exist without compromising each other. And I think sometimes when fans are frustrated at the state of the game, they tend to blame the other side, whether it's casuals or competitive. And I guess I'm not the biggest fan right now of how the casual community will watch the competitive community and see what the competitive community is up to and complain about them asking for rules that make the competitive side of Halo more fun. Because I guess it would be like if the competitive community came in and began demanding that they make changes to infection. You know, like, I think for competitive fairness, the infected should also get the same loadout, and we should blah, 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 you know. Like, no, let the competitive scene talk, you know? What they want is what's best for their ranked modes. It's not here to impact the social stuff, and if you're not playing ranked, then it shouldn't bother you, because it won't affect you. Thunderbowl, I got 8,000 points. You stop and shoot players, don't kill. Just two of them, then drive. If they die on their own, you get to... Interesting. Okay, is that why people are shooting each other? Interesting. Hey, LNG, quick question, but if playable elites ever return to Halo, how extensive would you like the customization to be? For example, being able to change skin color, mandible count, etc. I just like it to be like the UNSC stuff, you know? You can change the armor of your Spartan, change the armor of your elite. LNG, what's your favorite Doom the Dark Ages level, art and aesthetic wise? Oh god. I think the first level. Like the medieval town in a thunderstorm. It almost gives Battle of Helm's Deep, you know? But with a shotgun. It kind of sucks that aesthetic was reserved for the tutorial level. Because I would have liked a whole late game level that was just that aesthetic. Here, let's hop on over to Firefight for a bit. Okay, good. John Halo, says Fletch. How you doing, dude? Hope things are going well, Fletch. So, guys, Ultimate Halo, in the comments, or in the chat there, Fletch and I, we go way back when we were just kindred spirits, fellow YouTubers in the Halo community. And Fletch has been plucked out of the community and ascended up, and now he actually gets to work on Halo. Either BR works, and by comp poisoned, I don't necessarily mean competitive players specifically, just the toxic casuals go play Halo tools. Oh, I don't think we've had casuals go fight the Covenant in ages. In the competitive scenes, to the competitive scene's credit, they I think are sometimes less toxic than the casual crowd now. Doing great, mate. How about yourself? Doing pretty awesome. I'm trying to make my way to the HCS this October, finally. It's been years half a decade since I've been to Seattle, and I want that to change this October for my birthday. So, gonna try to make it happen. 2 years working on Halo now. Where does time fly? Fletch is real. Yeah, he's real. I mean, they sort of have that aesthetic in the first Dragon level. Sort of. Wait, do they? No, that one's set during the day, isn't it? Congrats, broski. Yeah, it's surreal seeing Fletch working on Halo officially, donning the Halo Studios t-shirt, hoodie, what have you. Are you doing it in the US, dude, or are you, like, remote? Because I'm hoping to see you at HCS. But I'm just curious if it's a flight for you. Oh gosh, he got the fuel rod spanker. Alright, this match is cooked. He's gonna get all the phantoms. Let's celebrate our birthdays on the Friday. Yeah! Oh man, I guess I didn't... Yeah, Fletch is also in October. Yeah, and Luke. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, all our birthdays are going to coincide with HCS. Yeah, we should do something. Yeah? Yeah, we could go out to eat somewhere. Something, anything. Each guy can have a cheesecake slice with a candle on top, says my wife. So Rebecca really likes birthdays. Like, she lives for birthdays. She goes all out for birthday celebrations, which before her, my birthday celebrations were nothing at all. It was just the day I was born, and people tell me happy birthday on Facebook, and that was it. I never asked for anything, never get a treat or see people. So she's changed that. I've learned to have fun. And she is not going to let Luke go without doing something birthday related for him. And me. And I guess you too now, Fletch. Alex, oh my god, Haruspis also. There's going to be 4 of us there that are all having our birthdays. Dude, Fletch, has Haruspis been the one writing the Waypoint stories? Because they're really good. They're really, really good. I've been enjoying the, like, obviously, you know, the Academy stuff would have been interesting to see how it was going to play out originally, but plans change, as they are known to do, and I think that the written stuff on Waypoint is pretty damn fun. There's this Saturday morning cartoonness of it that I think is actually a lot of fun. It reminds me some of like Joe Satan's writings on like ODST, taking Halo a little bit less seriously, using the universe as an excuse to have some fun. He has. Okay. To tell him that the conclusion to the battle for the Academy was really damn entertaining. I thought it was a really fun read. And I am planning to get the story bundle whenever it releases. I can't remember what the title of it is. How much left for Hero? After this match, we'll take a look at my rank. Hoping to get there, though. Giving Halo lore some nice fluff he is. Yeah, so there's the what's... Let me try again. The Waypoint stories and stuff, like, you know, there's people that wish that some of that stuff could be in-game, and yeah, it would be cool. But also, it is what it is, and I think some of the stuff that's been written is actually really fun. even something like a banished Spartan, which is kind of controversial in the Halo community, I understand it from the perspective of this is basically writing a story around the armor that we get in the multiplayer. You know, we're creating a story so that there is some context to the banished Spartan armor sets. It's not necessarily the most important part of the lore, and I think what's really fun about the way that Alex has been writing the banished stuff is it's very silly and fun. Like the little Eratus, you know, Tiki AI guy. Him and the banished Spartan are basically like Saturday morning cartoon evil Master Chief and evil Cortana. So it's fun to think that in the future there may be another short story posted on Waypoint to see what this like evil Master Chief and her evil AI companion are up to, and how will the Spartans stop them? It's just fun, like, don't take it too seriously, the stakes aren't that high stuff that Halo hasn't had in quite a while. And so it leaves the door open for a lot of just, like, fun, silly stories. I will tell him that you hate it all. I think it comes out next year. I can't remember the name, LOL. Okay, it's not just me then. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that thing physical. Alex also wrote this really good story for the, so you know, like the Tenrai stuff, like the samurai armors? So, remember how there's that Halo Legends story about the Arbiter, where it kind of retells the story of an Arbiter that betrayed the Prophets, but it did it with like a feudal Japan aesthetic? And that is probably like everybody's favorite Halo Legends short. Well, Haruspis, for one of the Tenrai events, he wrote a Waypoint short story. And the way that he canonized that weird retelling of events that isn't quite right and doesn't make a lot of sense is it's an elite, like an elite after the Human Covenant War, telling a story to a young human girl, if I remember right. Like, that's why that Halo Legends short is so weird and, like, dreamy, and some of the canon doesn't make sense. It's because within the Halo universe, it's a story being told to a human girl by an elite. And then, he writes, basically, an alternate ending to that Halo Legends short, where they forgive each other, basically. Like, they put down their swords and forgive each other. You know, because the little girl doesn't like the way the story ends. She thinks it's, like, sad or something. So the elite, in the moment, comes up with a happier ending to that story. And it's like, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Oh my god, that Halo Legends short story was awful to watch on low bitrate online. Yeah, you could barely tell what was going on half the time, because the bitrate was so low. You could maybe make out a face and, like, some eyes, but outside of that, like, details were just, like, a no-go. Because the aesthetic for that short is so watery, and it looks like a painting. You know, so combine that with like 240p and low bitrate, and a large portion of that short is just like unviewable. I would freaking love if they could get like the originals, the masters of those, if those even exist, or if it was all just on, you know, at a lower resolution. Like, whoever has the rights to distribute it or something, and if they could be remastered in some way and re-released, that would be pretty freaking awesome. I love your videos. I've learned so much from your channel, so thank you. I'm gonna subscribe. Dude, welcome to the channel. I'm gonna have a video up actually, probably tomorrow, and it's gonna be the working title is "Why Are Thousands of Halo Players Driving in a Circle?" And it's gonna be me talking about Thunderbowl and how fun Thunderbowl is, but it's also going to be a kind of retelling of the XP grind in Halo Infinite, like the various strategies we've come up with as a community, the way we've bounced from like Husky Raid to Survive the Undead to Gruntpocalpyse legendary difficulty, and then just regular, and now Thunderbowl. So I hope that you guys enjoy that, because that is going to be a fun one. I'm open to suggestions, by the way, for videos, because if you haven't noticed, we're doing shorts too now regularly. My wife and I, we're like a well-oiled machine. She works on the shorts, I work on the longer form videos, and then she is the one who edits the podcasts for Warthog Radio that I do with Labor Lard. Which, by the way, the Warthog Radio podcast is now on Spotify, as well as Apple. Anyway, man, I got a dip. Bedtime, glad you're well anyways. Let me know when you're in town for Worlds, and it would be great to catch up one night over drinks. Yep. I will do that, dude. I'm gonna reach out, actually, after the stream. Missed. Oh, man, I missed. Okay. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of things that I missed. I came up with the idea for a Halo character who is an elite that received Forerunner cybernetics and is convinced they went on the great journey. That's fun. That's a fun idea. That's a fun idea, actually, a really fun idea. There's a brute character in one of the books, I can't remember which one. He's like a chieftain, kind of like Tartarus, and they try to kill him by shooting him in the head, and he survives the headshot. But he's like brain damaged, bleeding out and stuff. And there's a Forerunner artifact that he puts on his head, it kind of looks like a crown to him, but he puts it on his head, and it starts kind of like basically drilling into his brain and replacing the damaged parts of his brain with Forerunner technology, and he comes back, but not as himself, and he can control like the native creatures and stuff due to this. He thinks it's a crown, but it's just a piece of Forerunner technology. And I like the idea of primitives like that think the Forerunner stuff is godly or holy, when it's really just super advanced technology, and they think that things it's doing to their body are blessings. So that's a fun idea. I like that idea of an elite being changed by Forerunner technology and like cybernetically augmented in some way, and because of that he thinks he's been turned into a holy warrior. To be honest, I don't think we'll ever see playable elites unless we play as one in the campaign. The only instance where making the extra animations is justified. Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that multiplayer would actually be a perfect place for playable elites, mostly due to the monetization opportunities. Because if you were to ask for more resources to do playable elites and stuff, you gotta pitch it in terms of like, well, what are we gonna get back in return? And if you just say like, the player base will be thankful, like they're gonna laugh you out of the room, which sucks. But if you were to pitch it as the opportunities for monetization, because that would mean certain cosmetics or aesthetics that would be just a little bit too weird for a Spartan, you could now work for the elites, and it would provide a way to basically get players to double dip on things, if they're completionists, or they want to have everything, they suppose you have, like, Christmas happening. Well, then you could get people to buy not just the Spartan Christmas stuff, but the Elite Christmas stuff, too. That would be the way that you have to pitch something like that to the business team. Or not the business team. I don't think that they control resources like that. I think the producers, probably, is who you'd have to pitch it to. Because then they'd work... I forgot how the corporate ladder works at Halo Studios. Like, who talks to who pitches what idea. You gonna play Black Ops 7 when it releases? Because I won't. If it's on Game Pass and I'm still subscribed to Game Pass, sure, I'll check it out, but I think I'm more excited to work on content for it with T-Dog. That's what I'm more excited about than the actual, like, release of the game itself. Also, how are you so good at multiplayer? I suck. I'm... Flattery will get you nowhere. But thank you. Do you think Halo CE has a similar vibe to Fear in Doom 3? I don't think it has a similar vibe at all. I think it is just about as far removed from Fear and Doom 3 as you can get. Because the tone is very, very, very different. Like, Doom 3 is kind of a very cinematic, almost scripted experience. You know? It's like playing... It's like a playable Aliens, like an action horror movie, you know? Whereas something like Fear feels almost more like a... it feels almost like a... sorry. It feels almost more like a playable... you know, like a gun movie, like a John Wick type thing. And it just so happens to have a ghost girl, but everyone usually agrees that the ghost girl in the Fear games is the weakest part of the game. Because the reason you play Fear 1 is not for the couple of scripted moments with a ghost girl. You play Fear 1 because the AI is really fun to fight against. And because the environment looks very impressive when it is being blown apart by shrapnel and shotgun blasts and what have you. Doom 3 is closer to Half-Life than Halo. Yeah. Doom 3 is a lot closer to Half-Life than Halo. Mist, I'd love to go down and make it for the October birthday boys, but I'm not keen on traveling to HCS for various reasons, both personal and international based. Yeah, Andrew, I get you, buddy. Let's see if, you know, things have improved in a couple of years, and then I would love to shake your hand in person. But it doesn't seem safe right now to come to the US. Here, let's get on some of these effects, actually. I was wondering why the explosions look kind of flat. What's your opinion on the post-Human Covenant War UNSC ships? I like them. The Infinity, what I think is really cool about the Infinity is it is like that giant blue thing on it, you know? The big Tron line on the back of it. The reason it's got that is because it is a UNSC attempt to reverse engineer Forerunner technology for flight use. So it's just got like a giant chunk of Forerunner tech on the back of it. And I think that's cool. The Pelican, honestly, the 343, or the Reclaimer Saga Pelican, I've eased up on it a little bit. I used to hate it with a passion, but now that the classic Pelican is kind of back as how the Pelican looks, I don't mind the Halo 4 and Halo 5 Pelican that much as just like a new UNSC dropship type vehicle, you know, like a Condor. LNG, have you played Mass Effect before? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Mass Effect 1 is one of my favorite sci-fi stories and games. Don't really like Mass Effect 2 that much. 3's okay. But I don't think any of them came close to the highs that Mass Effect 1 had. Have you played Splitgate 2? The BR is very good. Doesn't feel like a BR, but a long arena match. Yeah, I've played quite a bit of Splitgate 2. I have some problems with it. But I hope that they're able to come out on top. Because I think that those guys at 1047 mean well, even if sometimes there's a lot of rake stepping, you know? LMAO, I remember younger LNG going on a ramble about how unaerodynamic the 343 Pelican was. God. Yeah, of all the things to point out and criticize, like, it's aerodynamic, or it's not aerodynamic. I can't articulate why, because I don't understand what that word means. But trust me, it is. Don't try to say it couldn't exist because it's not realistic in the Halo universe. Just say you think it was an unnecessary redesign, because the old Pelican model holds up very well in high definition. Dude, thanks to Gruntpocalpyse, I've gotten very good at firing the skewer from the hip. Like, I can now get kills with it in arena matches relatively okay. Have you seen Sean W's new Halo video? Legit had me worried about the franchise. I haven't. What did he say in it? So pitch them as more opportunities to milk the whales? Good thinking. You could probably justify making more playable alien species using that logic. You could. The reason I say that, Andrew, isn't because I personally think that that's valuable. It's more like successful game developers, from what I've heard, the reason that they are successful and that they keep getting gigs is because they've learned how to work the system like that. There's always a catch to everything you do. What's important is that you can... What's important is that you make everybody happy, basically. But most importantly, you make the players happy. And you can do that in a way that also keeps business off your ass, you know? And one of the ways to do that is I really want to get playable elites in the game, and I know how to let business agree with me and also fight for playable elites. It was never about business. They were always the ones who were going to block it, you know? Because they're thinking about just how can we monetize it. But if you can get business also advocating for playable elites, then They don't realize it, but they're fighting for you, you know? And the likelihood of players benefiting from playable elites increases. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I think this is the last round. Yeah. LNG, do you want a Master Grade Zeta Verkov for your birthday? I have a spare. What is that? Is that Gundam? Is that Gundam related? That sounds Gundam related. That's incredibly generous, by the way, if that's what you're offering. Let me see, there was something interesting. What's your favorite helmet in Halo Infinite? You're looking at it. I think this helmet rocks in Halo Infinite. What coding are you going to use on the Mark VI? What number is that? Is that 6? 4? I can't remember any of the Roman numerals. To be honest, I'm probably just gonna rock... Like, listen, when I get that Master Chief kit, I'm going to be Chief. You know? I'm probably gonna experiment with different shades of green, but I want that Chief color so bad. Sean W. is very pessimistic in his latest video, kind of leaning into how Microsoft is shutting down studios and playing Halo isn't safe from it. Is he saying that's what's going to happen? Because they... Is he saying that's what's going to happen? Because the whole rebrand to Halo Studios, I think, seems to imply that Halo is here for the long haul, and that Microsoft, I think Halo as a franchise, even if the games are struggling, just as a merch franchise, like Halo merch, always does incredibly well. And it's got a very popular it's got a big fan base that even if the games aren't doing well, they're always buying, you know, just Halo stuff. Like, that's too valuable, I think, just to throw away. The most that I could see is, you know, what people are speculating, which is Halo Studios might partner with third-party developers to make Halo stuff. Kind of like what happened with Halo Wars 2. But I don't think we'd ever see Halo go the way of the dodo. It's just... Even if Halo Infinite is a financial disappointment, even if the next Halo game flops, people still buy Halo merch. People still buy Halo books, Halo Mega Blocks and stuff. People like Halo. You know, Master Chief on Master Chief on the front cover of the new Xbox still sells them. Oh, Andrew. Dude, thank you for the $10. $10 Australian, I should clarify. Oh no, I get what you mean. I know it's cynical, but gaming's been forcibly mutated into a primarily revenue venture. You have to trick shareholders into making player-oriented stuff. Sound profit boosting. Yeah. It's been that way, honestly, for a while. And it just feels like now things have gotten even worse. But I get you, and it is kind of like exhausting. I don't think I could ever be a game developer. I don't really have a filter, which is a character flaw. But other people do have filters, and so they're able to play the game a little bit better. And I hope they continue to fight the good fight. Oh, Halo Wars 2 revitalized the franchise to give me hope. Yeah, I think what made Halo Wars work, I think, really well is the fact that it was a spin-off. Well, a sequel to a spin-off. So I think there were less stakes on it, you know, not doing well, as well as they were divorced from the Master Chief, so they were able to kind of like experiment with different ideas. They had a different antagonist than the Covenant. They were able to, there was a lot of room for creativity and exploration that you don't get when you're working on the next chapter of the Halo story, you know. And as I've gotten older, something I've grown to appreciate more and more, and I use the word appreciate not in like the, I like that they did that. It's more like acknowledging it and understanding it is how difficult it must have been at 343 Industries to work on Halo. Because there are a lot of fights that players don't see behind the scenes, and a lot of anxiety about what direction to take Halo and what to do, and all these different voices from different people. I don't think things are as simple as 343 wanted to ruin Halo. I think there was a lot of pressure on them, and I don't think that they were able to live up to the pressure, unfortunately. Or not live up to the pressure, but I don't think they were able to weather the pressure. There's a lot of things that I used to view as 343 being boring and uncreative that I come to later find out it was boring and uncreative, but for reasons I didn't understand. Like, take the Wasp, for example. The Wasp isn't... So the Wasp is a vehicle that I think is very boring and uncreative. It's just a UNSC Banshee, basically. One-man aerial vehicle with a fully auto primary mode, explosive secondary mode. And I thought it was just them being boring. Like, they don't want to bring back the Falcon because the Falcon's too hard to use. Well, what I find out is that the Wasp is actually basically from the Bungie vaults. And it was a vehicle Bungie had tried many times to get into the Halo franchise. And the reason 343 did it is fear of creating something new, so they dig into Bungie's vault, you know, like all the stuff that they have left over from Bungie's work on Halo, and they're like, what can we put in? What can we put in that Bungie wasn't able to? We can put in this Wasp thing! And that's not to, you know, say 343 was free of all, you know, mistakes made, but that's to illustrate that it must have been very hard and anxiety-inducing to make Halo games. And it must have been very difficult to finally settle on an idea you wanted to go in. Because even things like Bungie's cut ideas aren't guaranteed to land. Like, even a lot of the equipment in Halo Infinite, it's stuff from the Bungie years that they never included. Like, some of it ranges from equipment that were in Combat Evolved during its development to cut equipment from Halo 3. And various other games, like armor abilities from Halo Reach and stuff that Bungie never got around to doing for whatever reason. Now, a strength of Bungie, I think, is that they were very good at being able to quickly identify stuff that wasn't necessarily working and cut it out for the sake of speeding up the development process, rather than kind of lingering on trying to make a bad idea work. Whereas with 343, I think something they struggled with is they took these ideas that were cut because Bungie was having trouble getting them to work, and they kept working on those ideas thinking that they could finally get it to work. And The reality is that it wasn't going to work, you know? And lo and behold, it ends up in the final game, and it's, yeah, maybe not as successful as some of the Bungie stuff. That being said, I do think Halo Infinite's equipment system largely is a success. I think 343 did a great job with the equipment in Halo Infinite. It's really tough to do something like equipment, because you want to make like those like the crackheads, you know, like the modern, like the zoomers and stuff. You want to make them happy, and what they don't like is slow gameplay that is very team oriented. They want stuff that just makes them feel powerful. And the equipment system used to be about slow, more team-oriented stuff, like bubble shields, vehicle mines, healing things, like all of that stuff is very team-oriented, but I think 343 did a very good job of creating a list of equipment that benefits not just the team, but also itself, you know? You got your crackhead stuff like the thruster pack, grappling hook, but then you also have things like the repair field, the drop wall, the echolocation thing. So Halo Infinite's equipment supports a lot of different players. Thoughts on the whole Halo Studios is having production issues again? It's making me really pessimistic for whatever is next. So, okay, I'm not going to say that there's no story there. You know, I'm not going to say, like, just consume product. But so something I learned during, you know, seeing the way like Halo Infinite kind of roughly came together, reading the story of how Bungie developed games, and then hearing stories from other studios, even award-winning games, almost every ground-level developer believes what they're making is trash until it begins coming together in the final stages of production. There are a lot of stories of developers that feel like what they're making is incoherent and not working correctly. I think a lot of game developers, or not game developers, a lot of gamers, we think that game development is basically, here's our vision for the game, and now let's make it. And there we go, we achieved the game that we set out. It's very rarely that smooth. Usually game development is iterative and riddled with failure and anxiety and doom and gloom until finally you're able to get it working. So you know how Doom Eternal is one of the greatest first-person shooters like ever made, or at least one of the greatest modern first-person shooters ever made? Remember when they showed off Doom Eternal at like that, I think it was QuakeCon 2018 or something, where, you know, they were showing off the grappling hook, and the crowd was going crazy, and there were all the new glory kills and stuff, and they were like, how about we extend that FOV and play with a little bit of keyboard and mouse? And it was like really fun and cool. Behind the scenes, they were panicking because it was not coming together, and Hugo Martin, the game director, said that they basically had to fake and play the way they wanted the game to be played, because the actual balancing of that build of the game that they showed off was not it. Like, they had to make the demons do what they wanted them to do, because the game was just, it wasn't working, it wasn't coming together, nothing felt right. So they had to basically play the game incorrectly to make it seem more exciting for demonstration purposes, just because the actual game design was not coming together. So, as for the Halo Studios situation, I could believe that there are still problems. You know, that simply changing the name of Halo Studios... Changing the name to Halo Studios isn't going to fix the cultural issues there. But there's also a level of, what do you call it? Imposter syndrome. You know, every game developer has a lot of imposter syndrome until the game does actually start coming together and starts working. But stay skeptical, you know? If we're pleasantly surprised, then man, that'll be awesome. If not, oh well, at least we have a new Halo. The Falcon was so much easier to play versus the Hornet. The Wasp was nice and easy to play, which took out the inherent balance of the Sky vehicle sandbox. So the Hornet is cool, okay? The Hornet is cool. It's cool for campaign, though. In multiplayer, the problem with the Hornet is the driver is the one having all the fun, where the passengers, they just sit there, you know? And an aerial vehicle, like, you could make the argument that, well, it's for transport, you know? The Hornet guy could get players across the map quickly, maybe capture the flag type modes. And the problem is an aerial vehicle takes precision to land, where a ground vehicle, you just stop driving, you know? So a troop transport hog is going to work better as a transport vehicle than like an air vehicle, you know? The Falcon, what worked about it is it just took the philosophy of the Warthog and translated it to the sky, where it's like, okay, one person pilots, the other person guns. And it's like, there you go, you fixed it. But then the problem is, in the campaign, they had to kind of double back. And I don't like it usually when Halo games compromise a little bit. Like, they fudge stuff because they can't get perfect parity between multiplayer and campaign. So I don't like that in Halo 5 your shields recharge even when you're sprinting in the campaign. I wish that there was gameplay parity across all modes. And in Halo Reach, I don't like that the Falcon, you can actually shoot it when you're piloting it in the campaign. And I know the alternative would be you're miserable and you can't do anything if you're piloting it, but I guess I'm glad I'm not a developer and that I don't have to solve problems like that. Checking up ahead. There's going to be trouble. The Mongoose is the fastest thing to drive in this mode, but it's also... there comes a lot of danger. Hang on, let me try that thing that somebody mentioned. What was it? You have to... okay. And now what? I just... how do I switch? There we go. Okay. Like that? And then if any of them die, I'll get points for it? I mean, we'll see. Hopefully I did it correctly. This is going to be tough. We're actually being respectful. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. Oh boy, here we go. Now comes the moment of truth. Who's gonna knock who off of the ring? Or are we just gonna all allow each other to farm this XP? Okay, this guy. Yep, there you go. Goodbye. That's what you get. Oh, we're gonna be respectful of each other. I don't think that guy was trying to mess with him. Oh my gosh, this guy's a meanie poo. Oh god, this guy's mean. Dude, leave us alone! Damn it! Okay. Oh, somebody's having their birthday? Hot take, the Razorback does the job better than the Falcon. It does more team stuff. It can carry objectives, while the Falcon is just a glorified death sentence to be in. Yeah, but that's also just kind of like an issue with air vehicles in general in a game that has a Spartan laser. Or a sniper rifle that has anti-material properties to it, you know? Yeah, the Razorback Warthog is great, and I really, really hope that it sticks around and that it's not abandoned as a vehicle, just because not everybody is rushing to get in it, you know? In this world of, like, data-driven design, I do worry about stuff like that. Like, how many creative choices that would have made a game much cooler are just dead in the water because of, you know, misunderstanding the data. Come on. Let me... okay, there we go. Okay. I thought I was about to fall in. Oof. Ooh. Okay. Now it's just the two of us. Oh my god! No, come on, man. Come on, leave me alone. Let's hang out. Let's try to get max XP. Don't knock me off. What are you doing, dude? If he had stayed alive with me and we had waited out the timer, we would have both been reaping the rewards. Don't end the game early. Or the round, I mean. Oh man, what killed me? Okay. That's alright. Happy birthday, Jules. Happy birthday. Yo, late night, it is my birthday. Do you think Halo really could go extinct within the next 5 years, considering what Microsoft is doing to studios? I think it is perfectly valid to be worrying about that. I don't think Halo as a brand, though, is going to go extinct. I think even if the games struggle and suffer, the brand is very powerful, too powerful to ever retire it. Like, Master Chief is just too damn good of a mascot, you know? It's kind of like a Star Wars, where even though, you know, people criticize Disney Star Wars a lot, even though there's that period, even following, you know, George Lucas finishing the prequel trilogy, and Star Wars kind of just became spin-off stuff, books, comics. Like, Star Wars will always exist. Star Wars will never disappear, you know, because it's too powerful of a brand. And that's kind of the situation Halo is in. Even when the games suffer and don't turn a profit or, you know, are a disappointment, we're always going to see Halo stuff. They're always going to keep hacking away at it. Because it is too valuable of a brand to just abandon. I shot a couple people. I don't know what the rule is with shooting people. Because so far I feel like I'm just getting myself killed and making people mad, and then they're gonna try to knock me off the ledge, you know? My ideal campaign balance philosophy would be everything and the kitchen sink approach, mainly concerning individual vehicle features. As in anything goes. like with retooling things so that they work better in campaign versus multiplayer. Sometimes I wonder what could have been if Lucas put Star Wars in the public domain. I think Star Wars would have thrived. Like, not in terms of, oh my god, episodes 7, 8, and 9 were great. More in terms of the variety of stories that could have been told. Because I think Star Wars, this is my opinion, Star Wars works way better as a setting to tell stories in than it does as a consistent, interconnected universe. Like, basically the George Lucas approach. Damn it! You know, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Like, it's a story being told. Things don't always have to make sense or line up with lore or canon. In fact, some books, comics, games were better for breaking canon. Damn it. This vehicle's about to pop. Just shoot once, you might aggro and that Dan happen. How's the beating every Halo game under 24 hours stream going? About as well as that stream did. Well, I'll keep trying. One of these days I'll have the stamina to actually do it. What you want to do is at the top of the Thunderbowl, switch and shoot once per vehicle. Switch back, drive a bit, repeat, save one clip and a grenade for the last ring. Oh. Is that what people are doing? Okay, have people broken it down in a Reddit thread or possibly a YouTube video? Some of these folks, you know what, Mad Lad. He's got a lot of points. What round are we on? I think we're on round 5. That Mad Lad guy has a lot of points. Or where is he? Where is he? Did he die already? Oh, well, I was gonna spectate him. i.e. Scorpions with both driver and gunner operated MGs, Gungoose with both MGs and grenade launchers, Falcons with autocannons, missile pods, etc. Dual-wield. Okay, I see what you mean. I think the reason that I like feature parity is just so it makes for a more seamless transition between multiplayer components and campaign components, but also just for, like, you know, vehicle sake, I think it encourages more Marine stuff, because I think if you make like every single vehicle all powerful for the player, they can do everything. You're less incentivized to work with a squad of Marines, you know. Like, in my opinion, the way to innovate Halo's campaigns is not through core gameplay changes, you know, or open world-y stuff like this. I think it's enhancing the simulation aspects. Like what the AI can do, how they react to you, the player, and the sandbox, innovating that in a way to where both the player and the AI around the player benefit from it. Halo Infinite actually does some of that. I like the way that the AI will, like, run and pick up different weapons. Sometimes you can cut them off as they're running to go get, like, a stronger weapon. Lord knows there's been many times where I've been shooting at an elite who has a pulse carbine, and then he runs over, and I see that he's running to a rack of, like, battle rifles. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 you don't. Like, we are not going to deal with an elite that has a hit scan weapon right now. I save a clip in grenades, so if on the last ring they try to push you off, you swap and nade them and mag dump them. Okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, well, you got 8,000 on one match, so I'm going to take your word for it. Okay, so let's... So, I have to shoot every vehicle once. Here you see, what kills me? What kills me instantly? You know, I don't normally like doing this, being a tiny little baby who runs away. But I am going to do it quickly so that I can restart, because I think I know what's going on. Is it if you sit in one spot for too long, your vehicle just blows up? Or at least on the outside of the ring? Gotcha. Okay, that is what it is then. Okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. What current rank is LNG? Let's go to my profile. There we go. I am about to beat the captain rank. I have a hot take, which is that Halo CE's second level is actually incredibly boring to replay and could absolutely be improved in the remake. What parts of it that you did you not like? Because I don't necessarily disagree with you. I agree with you while also vehemently disagreeing. I think the second level of Halo Combat Evolved is pretty boring if your objective is to beat the level. But if you're playing it for the story or the gameplay experience, then I think the second level of Halo is pretty damn strong, you know? Like, set it on heroic, put your FOV down to like 78, 82, set it to default controls, you know, get off of bumper jumper. The second level of Halo is pretty cool. Like, just the places it takes you, the way it's paced. Okay, and now I keep driving, so that I don't take damage. Okay, like that, basically? That's the strat? Okay, and then I do it again, right? Damn it, I just wasted a nade. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I shot that guy twice, his vehicle. So when he dies, I'll get like 200 points or something? I think the entire level is boring. I hate replaying it. It's not that boring. It's only boring if you're trying to beat it. Slow down. Pay attention to what they're trying to do with the level. Don't worry about rushing to the Covenant dropships, you know, like remembering where they all spawn, like all of that stuff. Okay. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, let's get going. I was too greedy. Okay. Yeah, I do have more points than everyone else. there's some truth to it. Do you not always get the pop-up when you get the plus 200 points for a kill? Exfurginator? I think what the chat meant to say is that the library sucks. Yeah, the library's... Man. Okay. Yeah, the library's rough, dude. The library's rough. Somebody said earlier that the library in the remake will be covered in yellow paint. And I don't think it's going to be covered in yellow paint. You know why? Because they're just going to use blue arrows on the ground, which is what they used in the original. Okay, so you do still get the points even if they don't pop up. Okay. Does it stay like that permanently? Like, I put a few shots into a vehicle and then we all drive around for a little bit. When they eventually die by falling off the ledge or something, will the game remember the damage I put into them and give me the kill? The Halo remake should make the library fun. It should make the library fun by making the library stressful. I think the Halo remake, it probably won't. But I hope that the Halo remake, it sort of follows the way that games used to be paced, where they get harder and harder as you play them, you know? And I think that the library should be one of the hardest levels in the game. If the game has sprint, if the remake has sprint, I'm going to worry about the library, because it's the same reason Left 4 Dead would not work if it had a sprint button. Because with an enemy that is always rushing you, you basically have to have full mobility in 360 degrees, and your weapon always has to be up. That way you can run backwards at max speed while firing your weapon at a chasing crowd, you know? Okay, let's go. And if the only way to move at max speed is forward, and you're locked into that forward direction while you're doing it, and you can't fire your weapon while doing it, then I think there's going to be some problems with the library. It's going to be like, run, raise your weapon, shoot a little bit, lower it, run. You know, there won't be that, like, seamless on-foot chase while shooting your weapon behind you. Oh boy, okay, I'm going. You don't need to tell me twice. That's interesting. This strategy might invalidate the video I did. But we'll see how it goes. Oh no! Less having a ton of vehicle variants with a bit differences, and more individual vehicles, each having a ton of both offensive and utility options on hand. Okay, I get what you mean then. You weren't necessarily talking about specifically what I mentioned. You're more talking about just like a broad general thing for sandbox design. Okay. Okay, and now we go. Here we go. I damaged quite a few of them, I think. Oh my goodness. Okay. It would be so funny if the Halo C remake replaced the Flood with Prometheans. It would be cool to see more Forerunner stuff than just Sentinels in a proposed, or in a supposed Combat Evolved remake. Like, just see what the rings are up to. You know how they operate, what other... Ah! What other stuff might go into repairing a Halo ring? Let me up my sensitivity then. I'm already at max sensitivity. Yeah, I don't think the remake will have sprint. Oh, I think the remake's gonna have sprint. I think it would most definitely have sprint. I would be more shocked if it didn't. Just because remember what I talked about earlier, where I said it's got to not... It can't be just there to make Halo fans happy. It also has to be there to attract a new audience. Make the current generation of gamers happy. Like, they could not re-release Oblivion without a sprint button. They had to include a sprint button. And not just a sprint button, they had to increase max player walk speed. You know, it's that kind of stuff. Oh my god, Mr. Nowhere's here. It's like a celebrity. Hang on. Oh, I got up. Okay. Let's drive for a bit. Ah, no! Wow! Oh my gosh, and then the sound of the Razorback's engine revving up, the as I turned around. That was cool, dude. God, Halo Infinite's Warthogs sounds so good. Oh. Ah. No. No. Okay. I hope the Halo remake allows us to buy consecutive. I hope the Halo remake allows us to buy consecutive levels. I feel like a game model like that is healthy and conducive to an amazing Halo experience. So, Mr. Nowhere, thank you for the $50, dude. But also, could you imagine Halo is an episodic series? The game releases with Episode 1, and it's just the Pillar of Autumn level. And then you've got to buy Episode 2. And then Episode 3. Gosh, remember the era where every single game was episodic and came in chunks? Library didn't have blue arrows on the ground. They were Assault on the Control Room exclusive. They were added in the anniversary graphics, though. Assuming there aren't any drastic design changes, I fully expect their presence. You're right, aren't you? Wait. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm confusing it with the anniversary edition. The comment that they made publicly about adding the arrows on the ground. Okay, I tried to shoot people and it was a failure. Also, anytime someone brings up sprint not working in Halo, I tend to point to SPV3 as a counter, both with it being an option and having more combat utility. Well, the thing about SPV3 is it does it by making it an armor ability. And I don't think they'd ever go back to that because people would complain. Modern gamers don't care about remakes and remasters being faithful. Look how quickly the Battlefront collection died. Games designed to act like old school games are extremely niche these days. I think it depends, because the success of the Oblivion remake is an interesting case study. Or an interesting, just like something to study and pontificate on. it is at once super faithful to the original Oblivion, while also being very unfaithful, you know? Like, aesthetically, the Oblivion remake does not look like Oblivion. It looks more like what if Oblivion was in the real world, you know? Mixed with a bit of Skyrim. Where the original Oblivion felt almost like Hyrule Fields. Like, that was just the art style of the original Oblivion. You know, that super saturated, almost neon grass. And just mint blue sky. And that's like, you know, it's not very faithful to the original Oblivion's art style. But a lot of the gameplay-related stuff, a lot of the NPC stuff, like the story, the awkwardness, like all of that is so faithful. They recaptured it brilliantly. Okay, let's keep driving. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to toss a nade this way. And it's probably not going to hit anyone. Yep. Somebody fell in. Okay, some of those guys I think are... Yup, there we go. Okay, awesome, cool. Oh my goodness heavens. Okay. Let's keep going. It felt good that worked. I mean, not good for that other guy. I feel bad, actually. Okay, I'm not going to try to knock anybody off here. Like, I just want to try to be nice. So that's why I'm not talking. Oh, man. Oh, man! I think I made it. It's 2025 and we're still having Just Sprint Belong and Halo arguments. Oh my god, who cares, LMAO? Well, we're still having those arguments, which means there is an argument to be had, even if it's an exhausting, stupid one. Ah! No, I sat too long! Okay. Halo if it were under EA. Man, everyone knocks on EA for monetization stuff. And it always annoys the hell out of me, because it's like, what happened to Activision? From where I'm sitting, Activision is easily the worst of all studios on the market when it comes to microtransactions and monetization stuff. In fact, EA seems to be like one of the nicer studios, because every couple of years you get a Dead Space remake, you get a single-player RPG. Even though Dragon Age wasn't that good, it existed, it came out. You know, Battlefield 2042, as much as that game sucks, they fixed it, and all of their microtransactions suck. So I'm not buying them anyways, so I just, you know. And the next Battlefield game, I'm not going to be buying any microtransactions for it, because I like Battlefield looking like Battlefield, you know? And I I can't think of anything that they could put into a microtransaction bundle in the next Battlefield that would make me buy it, because I don't buy milsim stuff, you know, in modern shooters, because the base modern shooter looks like that already, and I like that aesthetic, and I'm satisfied with the look of the game. And if they put something like Master Chief in the next Battlefield, well, I'm gonna hate that, because I don't want Master Chief in Battlefield, you know? They have crazy pay-to-win sports games. That's true. You know what? I completely forgot about the FIFA games. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Call me out on that next time I forget about that. That is fair. Are you gonna play the Edge of State update for Destiny 2? Edge of State? Oh, Edge of Fate. I'll be honest, I don't care. I don't care about it. Which is tough to say as a Destiny fan. But just nothing in it looks compelling. Like, I watched the cutscenes already on YouTube. I think Lodi is cool. That's like a fun character. The backstory for Ikora is dumb. It doesn't matter who they were when they were humans, before they became Guardians. The point is that, you know, Guardians make their own fate, and that their pasts literally are irrelevant, because when they're like, it wasn't that the whole freaking thing about Crow? So then going back on that and being like, actually what happened to you in the past is very important, and it's very important to the character of the Guardians. It's like, they're different people when they're reborn with the light of the Traveler. Exploring that is dumb, to me at least. And Maya Sundaresh as the conductor continues to be very stupid. I don't think the Vex should have a face that can talk in English and monologue and perhaps call you over the course of many weeks. So, that's my opinions on Edge of Fate. Some cool stuff. I think Lodi seems like fun, but all the other stuff kind of seems like, you know, the stuff I don't really like from modern Destiny's writing style. I don't think Destiny is good when it's character-driven. Going to be brutally honest, I think you should stay away from Twitter. You're a cool, sensible dude, but I don't see it too often in your Twitter posts, though I agree medkits should return to Halo. I don't think that's crazy or controversial to say. Medkits should absolutely return to Halo. And red versus blue is a vibe. We need an American Civil War Battlefield game. Oh my god. If they did that, Twitter would be the battleground. We already have an American Civil War Battlefield game. It's twitter.com. Or X, I guess. Man, I miss Destiny 1. I miss Destiny 1 too. The fact that Anthem is getting shut down has me like sweating bullets about Anthem. Because if Marathon comes out and it's not a success, and the fact that the Edge of Fate is most likely underperforming, I'm worried that if there is another round of layoffs at Bungie and a huge management shakeup, one of the ways they're going to start cutting costs is by shutting off the Destiny 1 servers. Like, I think we've probably got max 2 years left with Destiny 1. Maybe 3, if we're lucky. All hail the bowl. Yeah, we love the bowl. Some of the new Fallen enemies in Edge of Fate look really cool. Yeah, I like some of the new Fallen enemies. Like, some of that stuff looks really fun. That's the stuff that I like about Destiny. Not necessarily humanizing the aliens. I don't like that. I think that stuff's very boring and, like, melodramatic in Destiny. But having, like, new enemy types, new houses that are more alien and less relatable, I think those are fun. I don't know, it's like a mixed bag, you know? I actually don't mind the look of the new location, Kepler. I think it's probably the most interested in a Destiny location that I felt since Europa? Yeah, since Europa, probably. Oh, yo, yo. That's it. Because after Europa, things got kind of, like, weird with Destiny locations. Like, Savathûn's throne world is so abstract and specific to Savathûn that it's not like a real place, you know? Like, a crack in a wall on Savathûn's throne world, that doesn't have history to it, you know? It wasn't like the artisans, like, made a mistake hundreds of years ago and that crack was, like... Because it's all a manifestation of her subconscious. So none of it's real. You're basically walking around a dream, and I think that's boring. Because all that means is... It's a vague, like, ooh, what does it say about how Savathûn feels? I'm like, I don't care. I think real locations are more interesting. And so Savathûn's throne world, it's like... It's abstract, like, windows into someone's mind, like... Not a real place with history to it. Then you had Neomuna, and Neomuna felt so unfinished artistically and so rushed that it's almost hard to, like... It's hard to believe it, if that makes sense. So, like, my mind almost wipes out Neomuna. Like, that never happened. That doesn't exist. It's just a weird mistake. And then the Pale Heart is the exact same thing. It's not a real place. There's no history to that world. Nothing in it makes sense, and there is no world building outside of what does it say about how a character feels. So, I don't care. I'm disconnected from it, because I don't care about the characters. But Kepler is a real location. There is world building there, because it's a real place that went through stuff. So I'm interested in it a little bit. We don't need Master Chief in Battlefield. You know where we do need him? Oh no, Andrew, don't say it. You're gonna say Call of Duty, aren't you? Don't say Call of Duty. Don't say Call of Duty. Unless you mean Helldivers. In which case, I think ODSTs belong in Helldivers. Did you see the tweet from, who was it at the Helldivers studio? But it made me very excited because they basically drew the line at Spartans being in Helldivers, but they said Marines and ODSTs absolutely. Okay, I'm a major. A major what though? Could you do an evolution of multiplayer maps, liminal space / ambience video? Maybe. Maybe. BioWare needs a cash grab at this moment. Yeah, BioWare, they need something. They haven't had a hit in over a decade, and that's very bad. That's very, very bad. And I say that as someone who actually liked Andromeda quite a bit, despite its issues. I thought it was a great Frostbite engine game. I liked the Frostbite engine, and I thought that Mass Effect Andromeda was cool. it was cool to have like a third-person open-world exploration space thing. Even though it was super janky and the story was weak, I liked exploring those planets in the Frostbite engine, and I thought they were very beautiful and felt very immersive. Multiplayer was also fun. But yeah, they haven't... After, you know, Mass Effect Andromeda flopped for good reason. Anthem flopped for good reason. Dragon Age. I'm surprised Dragon Age flopped because discussions online from certain folk had me believing that the game was actually doing well. There was like this toxic positivity around Dragon Age Veilguard that fooled me too, because I was under the impression that the game was actually doing gangbusters and everyone loved it. But no, it did not do well. Where are those grunts? Oh, hello. Oh man, I've gotten used to playing Gruntpocalpyse on like default controls so that I can snap in and out of aiming down the sights really fast. And now I am using Bumper Jumper, because I think I was playing a lot of Arena, the Delta Arena playlist, during the Halo 3 season. Latest episode of Warthog Radio. Yeah, the latest episode of Warthog Radio, edited by my beautiful wife, Rebecca. She is the official producer, as well as the editor for Warthog Radio. What she says goes. Laper Larden and I, we are just here to make her money. Rebecca gives us the go-ahead on who we can and can't have as guests. And she runs a tight ship with Warthog Radio. So if you guys want to listen to it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, it is available on a streaming device of your choosing. I heard there's going to be 2 Transformers movies developed, and one of them is Michael Bay. Yeah, that's crazy to me that they got Michael Bay back to direct a Transformers movie. It's also got me worried about the future of the Transformers franchise. Because, like, Doctor Who had been struggling for a while, for a very long time in the ratings, and basically as a Hail Mary, like, we need to save the franchise, they got back the guy who rebooted Doctor Who back in 2005, Russell T Davies. They did specials with David Tennant back as the Doctor, and then they introduced a new Doctor, and it was all about like just nostalgia, throwback. Remember when you really liked Doctor Who? And it didn't work. It flopped. Not just because people weren't interested, but also apparently because the stories weren't very good. And that usually seems to kind of be like the death siren when even going back to the original creatives isn't working. And now it seems Doctor Who is on hiatus. Because whoever was that new Doctor, he quit. After just 18 episodes, he quit. And the next Transformers, like, Rise of the Beasts did not do gangbusters, I liked the movie, but it did not make a lot of money at the box office, which is, you know, kind of disappointing. But the fact that their first instinct is to run back to Michael Bay, that worries me a little bit. Yeah, guys, subscribe to Warthog Radio on YouTube. It's the podcast produced and edited by my wife, and the hosts are Leper, Larden, and I. Rebecca is leading us on a path to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want a podcast about Halo that isn't all doom and gloom, give it a listen. I want my Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers movie. Last Stand of the Wreckers. Isn't that like an iconic IDW story? I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with the IDW comics outside of like surface level knowledge. Like I know the IDW comics changed Soundwave quite a lot. Or not Soundwave, Shockwave. They made him a very, very, very different character. I know Megatron becomes an Autobot at some point. Or maybe it's not that he's an Autobot, it's that he renounces Decepticonism. Which, hey, that's cool. Like, Megatron eventually kind of, like, realizes how exhausted he is and tired of the fighting, and he's like, this isn't the revolution I wanted to kickstart. I just think the problem with Transformers as a franchise is the problem most things have. The magic of robots turning into cars as a big screen spectacle for movies. Like, it's run, you know, it's happened already. Like, people have already seen it. I don't think you can recapture the magic of that 2007 movie, because that 2007 movie already happened. Like, we know what a truck turning into a giant robot looks like now. You can't... It's like the Jurassic Park reboot. Like, we know what a CGI T-Rex looks like now. You can't trick us into thinking we haven't seen that before. Need more complex toys. What complex toys? Oh, of Transformers. Yeah, we do need Transformers toys. They're like Rubik's Cubes, but fun. We need to get an RC Transformer toy. Where did G.I. Joe dolls go? Where did they go? Oh yeah, G.I. Joe's just vanished. Where'd G.I. Joe go? Yeah! Is G.I. Joe just, like, not a thing anymore? Oh, the Monster Aisle? You're not talking about Monster High, right? Oh, yeah, there would just be, like, weird monster things. Like, it wasn't even necessarily a brand, it was just, like, monster toys. Or dinosaur toys. Yeah, well, maybe G.I. Joe went away because people don't feel patriotic. He is like Barbie for boys, but there's like a heavily like pro-America military theme to G.I. I mean, the name is G.I. Joe. I don't think they care anymore about like G.I. Joe. I think what they care about is Skibbity Toilet. Well, for a while it was like the MCU, right? And now it's like toys just as a whole are like dying for kids because everybody is on the iPad now. Like, they don't want toys anymore, they want V-Bucks. And Roblox. Roblox currency. Oh, Rebecca says she's listened to Elvis, and now she's trying to remember. Oh, she has listened to Elvis. She just did an impression of Elvis. Yeah. And he says, thank you very much. And she was about to say hasta la vista, baby. You know, Elvis, the guy known for hasta la vista. Hasta la vista, baby. Hell yeah. We don't know much about Elvis. He was before our time. You guys know about Lala Loopsy? You guys know anything about Lala Loopsy? Oh yeah, Elvis wasn't a toy. He wasn't an action figure. He was a guy. They had to cut Elvis with, like, because of how, like... Oh yeah, Michael Jackson? She's doing Michael Jackson sounds and dances right off screen, and unfortunately you guys are missing it. Oh, it's Transformers Dirty Dozen. That's what it is. She is moonwalking now across the room into the kitchen. You guys are missing the... You guys are missing the performance of a lifetime. Cobra Commander made Cobra with pyramid schemes with disaffected middle Americans. Is that true? Wait, is that true? Is that like one of those like oversimplifications, but that's basically what it is? It's people... Cobra Commander is just a guy who's tired of America? Because that's funny. The guy with the like white faceplate who sounds like Starscream. Because in the original, I freaking love Transformers Generation 1, and there were always commercials for G.I. Joe's TV show, and they redo the voice actor for Starscream in the original Transformers cartoon is the same guy who does Cobra Commander. So the villain of G.I. Joe had a silly, pathetic, shrieking voice. It was Cobra! Oh, achy. Oh my god, Elvis is in the chat. Elvis had a pretty sad life story. Did he? I've never actually read... Did he? Did he? I know about Lalilulilo, says Andrew Brown. I think in some convoluted way they tried to connect the G.I. Joe and Transformers movie universes together. Yeah, that's the way Rise of the Beast ends. It ends with the guy giving the G.I. Joe card to what's his name, which I'm skeptical because I don't want to see a G.I. Joe movie. I want to see a Transformers movie. And a G.I. Joe Transformers hybrid means I'm going to see half G.I. Joe stuff and half Transformers. And I'm like, no. I want to see 100% Transformers. But my wife is way more open to the idea. Toys! Woo! Toy movies! Have you seen Pointless Hub's Transformers 1 video? I feel like it makes a pretty sobering point about appealing to general audiences over the main fans. Yeah, Pointless Hub made a great video about Transformers 1. And it's like, Transformers 1, the best Transformers movie in the franchise. It flopped. And it's like, yep. And Paramount recently confirmed we will not be getting a sequel. Which also, like, Even from like a kid's standpoint, though, I kind of get it, because Rebecca and I, with Transformers 1, listen, the movie's amazing, okay? It's great, genuinely great, but Rebecca was like, I feel depressed now after Transformers 1. Because it's like, that was a sad ending. Yeah, it was just like sad. And then they like showed a brief little like montage of like when they were friends, and it's like, that's sad. Yeah, we cried for real for the freaking toys. It was like, we need Transformers 1 on DVD. I saw a lot of people asking why my footage looks better than their game. Because it's not the game. It's magic. But also some of it is Halo Infinite. I turn it to negative... God, what's the percentage of brightness? Here, it should be here. Like this for brightness, negative 25, because then you get a little bit of contrast going. Like, it's gonna look too dark at first, okay? But keep with it, okay? Eventually your eyes are gonna adjust to it. And the whites are gonna pop a lot. Shadows are gonna look dark, whites are gonna pop a lot. But also, do not set your field of view above 90. If you can, hover around 85. And then turn all this stuff up. And turn sharpening not to 100%, turn it low. Because what you're actually doing is you are like deep frying the image and making the game unintentionally look worse by just setting sharpness to 100%. Because stuff that should be softer on the image becomes sharp, and stuff that's already sharp to begin with becomes even sharper. And so it just ends up kind of looking like a very, very scratchy, plasticky, greebly mess. Or not greebly, gritty, I guess. It looks like something's wrong with the image. I'm not going to get the kill. That's okay. Oh, and, okay. For those of you who are fans of Halo 5 and fans of Halo 5's aiming down the sights, I found something of interest to give you all a little slice of home. I found view model offsets that give you that same feeling that aiming down the sights in Halo 5 gives you. You know, where Chief tightens up the gun a little bit. Think of like the assault rifle. You know, where he hugs it a little bit closer to the face. Not like Halo Infinite, where it's just a camera zoom in and the view model stays the same. Okay, so let's find an appropriate weapon to demonstrate with. That will do. Okay. I've got my view model screwed around, though, just a little bit. Okay, it's around here. around this, these view model settings, see you've got the weapons still on the side of the screen like a first-person shooter. But then when you zoom in, see, it looks kind of like he's straightening out the rifle. Kind of like the same animation from Halo 5. See? Gives you a little slice of home if you liked that animation. And then bringing the weapon closer to the screen gives you that kind of like the way all the weapons in Halo 5 were really, really big. Yeah, but look at that, see? That looks good, right? Rebecca's laughing at the sound. Oh, what did the guy say? Who? Don't read it? Will it make you laugh? Oh, wow. Oh, that's what she's laughing at? I just looked. Contrast the Bayverse, utterly shallow action slog that is wholly unfaithful to the point of being a raw insult to the franchise and Rim's gangbusters. I wouldn't say it's a raw insult, because it did draw in new fans to the franchise. And it did a pretty decent job, I'd say, when it comes to just the robots, okay? All the human stuff is just so obnoxious in the Michael Bay movies, like, to the point of, like, I hate them, and I wish that a robot might step on them. But all the robot stuff, like, you're given the job of taking the Transformers, and you need to make them look like they exist in real life. They have to look like they exist in real life. And that doesn't mean, like, Optimus Prime, like the original G1 design in the real world, because that doesn't look like real life, you know? So the changes that they made to their designs, I think, were extreme. And it did make Transformers seem like they could exist, like they really were aliens that turned into cars. There is some level of respect that I do have to have. Also, I just think that the CGI work is incredible. And I think CGI is an art form that should be respected. Good CGI you never notice. Bad CGI you always notice. And bad CGI is usually just because the artist didn't have enough time to finish their work. Or even enough time to do their work in the first place. Cobra in the original G.I. Joe had certain undertones. Yeah, he definitely did. Though, didn't he also, like, employ like a multiracial, multinational militia of villains? I was really hoping I'd be able to kill that thing. What's the lore of that commando model? Old CMA stuff? Maybe? I haven't actually read the lore of that commando model specifically. Bro, I'm in your game. Aerialite. I thought it was you, and I came here to confirm. Hey! Where are you? Yeah, hey! Good stuff, buddy! Welcome to the stream. Glad we're having fun here. Is this your, fuel rod spanker? Because I found this on the ground. If you died and you couldn't find your fuel rod, you can have it back. If you're also on that XP grind, we're all in this together. I think I've got enough for this match to reach 5,000, you know. Oh, it was yours, Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah, come to the back here. Okay, look at the stream, buddy. I threw it right over there. You can grab it, okay? I threw it back there so no one stole it from you. Ah! Oh, you gave it to a Marine. I love the CM90 Bulldog. Yeah, that model's pretty cool. Rough. Oh boy, here they come. Reorganizing, regrouping. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh my god. It's the Gruntpocalpyse. It's here. Wow. I can't believe we survived that. I refer more to stuff like Optimus's murder hobo characteristics and questionable design like Wheeljack being inexplicably Einstein or Skids and Mudflap. Okay, yeah, that stuff's very stupid. Yeah, Skids and Mudflap were dumb. That was very dumb. Wheeljack being just Albert Einstein is more an aesthetic problem that I had with some of those Bay Transformer designs. I don't necessarily mind the Transformers looking different. What I do mind, though, is if they just straight up look like humans. Which, Transformers 4, that, like, the robot beard was dumb, and the robot cigar was dumb. But the robot trench coat was just stupid. Like, I can't rationalize that in my head, because a robot, like the way that the robot trench coat worked for that one Transformer design, it looked like different plates of metal that were interlinked so that they could look kind of like a flowing trench coat. But from my perspective, I'm thinking, like, what if they get caught? You know, like, have you ever like taken a cardboard box and completely unraveled it so that it's just like kind of straight all the way? Sometime, and you start rolling it, sometimes it gets caught in a shape, you know? And I'm just like, the robot trench coat was stupid. I'm not gonna rant about it. That movie, I don't like that movie, Transformers 4. What if he was chilly? Oh, the robot? Yeah. My wife makes a good point. Rebecca says, what if he was chilly? And that's why he needed the coat. And I can't argue with that. Or maybe he was Sherlock Holmes. I hated Transformer 4 and 5's Optimus Prime design. Yeah, I didn't... In Transformers 4 and 5, like, Optimus... They made him just look like an armored-up knight with an Optimus Prime head. To the point where you couldn't really tell what... if there were any, like, you know, car parts on him. He looked too humanoid. Now, Rise of the Beasts, Optimus looks freaking awesome. Outside of the head being, you know, maybe a little bit too small. The I don't want to just gush and gush about Transformers 1, but the character designs for Transformers 1 were great. I'm so happy I watched Transformers 1. I remember on a stream saying I saw the commercial for it and I thought it was going to be like a dumb Minions-esque kids movie. It's not. It's not that at all. It's in fact maybe like not great. No, it is, because like kids need to be exposed to some of that stuff, and like robot violence is bloodless. It's just, it's kind of scary because it's loud, but kids love that. It's, I guess, like sad. Like, the kids aren't gonna, like, come out of the movie being like, ah, Dowie's so cool, I love Transformers. Like, they're gonna be crying. You wouldn't care about sad things? Because you weren't sad? Okay. Okay. Oh, the sad stuff is boring? Okay. Okay. Okay, you know what? She's right. Sort of. Like, I'd not rewatch certain movies because they made me sad. Well, I also didn't watch many sad movies as a kid because I phased out all the sad movies and only watched the movies I liked. Yeah! Like Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, I'd always just skip to the lightsaber fights and avoid the part where Obi-Wan is crying. Yeah, Optimus Prime being a murder bot in the Michael Bay movies is dumb. To the point that, Rebecca, her perception of Optimus Prime was that he's kind of grumpy. And it wasn't until, like, you know, exposure to, like, Transformers Animated, Transformers 1 and stuff, that it was like, oh, he's supposed to be like a good, like an optimistic leader. Oh my god. Oh, wait, do we want to show them the flags? Actually, yes. Okay, she's gonna bring something that she's been painting. A company contacted me via email, and they were like, "We just want to send you this. We thought you might like it. You aren't owed any. You don't owe us anything. You don't have to make us anything, but we think you'll like this." And Rebecca has been crazy on painting these to make them accurate. Some of you will probably recognize what these are. Here, let me... Oops. It is red flag and blue flag. And they've got a little... Oh, this camera sucks. And the lighting sucks, to be fair. Yeah, okay, it's barely coming through, but it is the flags from Halo Infinite. Okay. Oh, the match already started, or the next round. My dream transformer is QTC0Y My Melody. Oh yeah, guys, there's a My Melody transformer. Yeah, so okay. There's a rare transformer that is basically My Melody. If you guys don't know, My Melody is a friend of Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is not a brand. Well, it is in America. The brand is Sanrio. And Hello Kitty is a Sanrio character. But in America, Hello Kitty was so popular that they basically just like renamed the brand to Hello Kitty for America. Needless to say, there was a collab Transformers kit with My Melody, which was almost 10 years ago. And my wife's favorite Sanrio character is My Melody. And she likes Transformers, and she likes My Melody. And there's a Transformer My Melody figure. And it's insanely overpriced. And if there is anybody out there, even if you don't know, do you know a guy who knows a guy? If anybody knows a way that I can get Rebecca the Transformer My Melody, like, I don't think I could begin to repay you. It would be basically a life debt. Misa, owe you a life debt, is what I'm trying to say. Blue flag dropped. Oh, cause yeah, that's good. That was a good vid. Blue flag taken. Blue flag dropped. Yeah, my camera's very buns. Hey, you want to guess when I got this camera? Take a guess. I got this camera before Halo 5 released. So that was like 2014 is when I got this camera. In fact, you probably think it's a very, very cool overlay that I've applied. There are scan lines going down the picture. That is not a filter I put on. That's the webcam. It has scan lines on it because it's like breaking. This camera that I'm using, I used to call my cousins via Skype with it. If you ask me, this Reclaimer event is a 6 out of 10. The new S&D mode... Wait, let me see, where did it go? The new S&D mode is cool and competitive, but it's not my cup of tea. I do like... I can keep cosplaying as Halo 4 and 5 and Chief more. Yeah, it's a Halo 4 themed event, but there's not a lot of love given to Halo 4. Like, no Regicide, no Dominion. Not even some... Not even Reggie, says Rebecca. Yeah, they didn't even include Reggie Fils-Aimé. But there's also no, like, Forge remakes of Halo 4 maps for, like, you know, Arena. You know, us Halo 3 fans, we ate pretty good last month. Even though even though Griffball sucks, it sucks so bad in Halo Infinite because of the gravity hammer. That playlist is great, you know, and the Halo 3 Forge remakes, they were all great. So why can't, you know, like, the Halo 4 fans exist? Why can't they have, you know, a celebration of Halo 4? I really, really like the search and destroy mode. Like, a lot. I like Counter-Strike. I like the one respawn, like you spend money to buy weapons between rounds. I like that a lot, and I really like it in Halo. But that wasn't in Halo 4. What's that doing here, you know? Sorry, I'm being quiet. There's just a lot to focus on right now. And we're about to switch back to Thunderbowl in a second. Alrighty. GG. Yeah, the post-Dark of the Moon Autobot crew had some weirdly humanized designs. Hound being a fat dude, Crosshairs as trench coat, Drift. Entertaining characters, though. They were alright, I thought. They weren't as iconic, though, as the original Autobots. They were definitely entertaining, though. And I think the reason that they made them so humanoid was because of criticism, you know, people gave that, like, it was sometimes hard to follow the previous Michael Bay movies because the robots were so complicated in their design. Like, if another robot tackled... If a robot tackled another robot in Transformers 1, I remember my mom could not tell them apart. She just thought it was a big ball of metal rolling around. So they probably made them more humanoid so that they were easier to follow. The nastiest, most pathetic Transformers villain is Getaway. He is the worst Autobot ever. Which one's Getaway? It's not... No, his name was Swindle. The guy with the really tall head and the purple eyes, like the salesman from Transformers Animated. That guy, I freaking love that guy. Spartan Record says I need 2,600 matches to get Hero, but I get 5,000 per match, and I did the math, I would actually only need 1,060 matches. Yeah, how does Spartan Record calculate? Like, what does it use to calculate? Missed some supers. Did I miss even more? IDW... Oh, Andrew, I'm sorry. I missed your super, dude. IDW 2005 Decepticons are communists. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Well, they're maybe not communists, but they are definitely dark mirrors to the communist revolution of Russia, where it's like the working class rising up against the wealthy elites and taking over, and then becoming the very thing they swore to destroy. That's definitely the vibe that they were going for, which is fun. Swindle was silly. Swindle was so silly. I love Swindle. I enjoyed Griffball. My brother came back to Halo to play it. Oh, that's nice. Did you play the original Griffball? Is there like a nostalgia? I'm glad to see two proper British actors cast for the Zelda movie. Just give me Javier Bardem as Ganondorf. What do you think of that casting? Javier Bardem. You know the meme of like the guy with the really ugly face, and he's got like the bob haircut. From what? Shrek? No, like a real actor. He's a very famous actor. And he would actually be a decent Ganondorf. But I'm not sure if you'd want him to be Ganondorf, or if you'd probably... Yeah, you'd want somebody who'd look like a Gerudo. Nah? You need someone with, like, sharper facial features. You hate him? The Menendez brothers. Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Rebecca had a very bad first impression with him. He was the dad in the Menendez brothers. What about Willem Dafoe? Rebecca says Ganondorf will be Timothy Chalamet. What if, might I also recommend Tom Holland as Ganondorf? Or perhaps Chris Pratt? Oh, Jack Black as Ganondorf? Oh, no. One thing that worries me about the next Bay film is that it's going to throw fembots under the bus due to Bay's vocal displeasure with them. Yeah, that's, yeah, the next Transformers movie, there better be, a lot of people keeping Michael Bay in check. Because he did not include RC in the first 2007 movie, because he didn't want to explain how Transformers reproduce, and he thought just having a female Transformer would make kids be like, wait, there's a lady one? Where did they come from? Like, that's like some, like, a meathead, like, 5, 6, 7, 8 head level thinking there, dude. That's why we were robbed of, like, a really cool-looking RC. Y'all are sleeping on Danny DeVito as Ganondorf? Oh my god, that would be freaking awesome! Oh man. You know, something that's super weird? The actors that they cast, I'm now, like, Link's gonna talk in this movie. Like, he's gonna talk in this movie. Tada. And... oh, that's what he's gonna say? Zelda? Oh no, Ganondorf. What they need to do is, have you guys ever seen the movie Drive? It's with, God, why am I blanking on his name? Barbie, the guy from Barbie. Yeah, Ryan Gosling is the lead in that movie, and that, he says, like, 5 words in that whole movie. And he's the main character of the movie. And he's just like a presence. He only speaks when he absolutely has to. Not for... by the way, this is nuts what I'm doing. Are you watching this? Are you watching this? I'm unkillable. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop me? Yeah! But if that kid barely says a word, then they could get away with Link talking. But if he's like like Harry Potter, then we might be in trouble. What do you think, babe? Like, I know you were joking about Zelda, but we'd be in trouble if that's the tone they go for, right? What? What about Luke? Oh, what did he say? He said, "Is that a poppy in Halo Infinite?" That's what that kid's gonna say. He's gonna draw the Master Sword out of the rock, and then he's gonna say, "Is that a poppy in Halo Infinite?" I think we've still got the footage of Eggy on the green screen. We could probably put him, yeah, in the Lost Woods. Like a little plush. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where he'd be? Mm-hmm. Wow, that was a loud thunder. I hope we don't lose power. Oh no. In fact, we should probably plug in our stuff. Okay guys, it's thundering outside. We might lose power. Ugh! Terrifying! It sounds like a haunted house movie outside right now. Aw, Pumpkin, it's okay. Oh my god, oh my god. That serves me right. Getaway groomed tailgate and tore apart his best friend, sold brain modules to a serial killer, and fed his crew to scraplets to try to become a prime? That was a very scary sentence. And that was also with, like, the thunder outside. Rebecca rebukes it. Ryan109 suggests Hidden Xperia as Ganondorf. Luke is gonna come out of the shadows and say, "The Triforce is mine!" You need an uninterrupted power supply, broski. I do have an uninterrupted power supply. Oh, you mean like I need for the power to not go out while I'm... just because it's thundering. I agree. Gosh, it's... freaking hate the power in this area.